And we're back. Game number 2 of our leadoff best of 3 of the day. A lower bracket elimination match. Winner advances to meet Fnatic in the lower bracket finals, and the winner of that will, of course, meet EG in our grand finals. Loser of this, they go home, and Team Empire, 1 game, 1 loss away from going home as Na'Vi led off with a great Game 1 performance led by Dindy, who we actually, I saw on Twitter, tweeted by Nahaz. Dindy equaled the highest kill rate of any professional player in professional Dota 2 with Skywrath Mages. Actually, Fear, believe it or not, who lays claim to that title, or laid claim to it as they now share it. But yeah, Skywrath Mage in mid, not too bad when you've got an IO helping and a Beastmaster that has given you a kill or 2 early on to open things up. Empire, with their draft, leading off with a lot of team fight. They go Brewmaster plus the Tidehunter. Na'Vi going right back to Kuro's IO, but also getting the Doom up this time. Now, we saw Funnick playing the off-lane Faceless Void in Game 1, and you were kind of keeping an eye on another tournament going on while we had some downtime. And that Void pick, man, it's beginning to show itself. Like you said, we just saw a couple of the Chinese teams prioritize the hero very, very quickly in the other tournaments. So I think that's going on BTS. But anyway, yeah, I think the Void is showing its strength.
Absolutely. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Na'Vi, they're picking up Doom and the Wisp, which I think is fine. I think both teams have drafted nicely, at least in the early stages of this draft. Tidehunter and Brew, very, very tanky heroes early on here for Team Empire. Seems to be a common theme in the metagame right now. Na'Vi, I think they like to run, well, again, they're a somewhat flexible team. I see Funnick run Doom off lane. I see Havost run Doom in the safe lane. I think Havost playing Doom is just very strong because he has a nice balance of getting all the last hits when he can, but at the same time being aggressive and actually participating in team fights early on. So I would like to see Doom specifically on Havost, but they could do other things. For supports here for Team Empire, if you're looking at, you know, good ones, I would think Disruptor would be very effective. It's good against Wisp.
Oh, yeah.
Just throw them back after a relocate, and the other hero is just kind of sitting there. Not to mention, not even throwing them back, but just if they're relocating, you can just throw down a kinetic field and then the static storm, and then they just can't really do anything.
Right.
That's a hero that's seen a lot of play, and for good reason. So I would not be I wouldn't be surprised, I should say, if Team Empire picked that up.
Na'Vi going to go ahead and ban the Viper out this time. Havost ran it in Game 1 and had a fair amount of success on it, but not wanting to give it over to Team Empire. But yeah, we're really beginning to see just how wide the hero pool is. And, you know, whenever you look back over the last month, I got to say, just as a caster and a player, whenever you a low-level player, just so new streamers don't think that I'm speaking from professional level, God no. But whenever you look back over the last month, it really has been an unbelievably wide open hero pool, and we've seen teams make so much work so well. Disruptor, another one of those heroes that, depending on the team and the situation, is very highly prioritized. Ancient Apparition, going back a few months ago, was very, very popular, fell off, but even he is situational now. And this is just a really fun time to be watching Dota, and bodes well for the drama that we're going to see on the big stage in Seattle looking ahead to TI4. But yeah, Empire, they just won a 5-man. This is a lineup that is just ready to go freaking fight as soon as they possibly can. Brewmaster, Tidehunter, the big ults. Rubik is still available. It would not shock me at all to see Na'Vi snag a Rubik pick here.
Yeah, Puppy would have to play, I would imagine, than the Wisp. I don't think that really matters, but yeah, that's another Kuroki hero. I totally agree with you. It could be very, very good. It's actually not a bad hero to be comboed up with the Wisp as far as another support goes, too. I think that's the biggest thing with Wisp is sometimes if you're trialing, it's awkward to find another hero that synergizes well. Like, yesterday we saw Cloud9 playing Wisp plus Undying, and I was just like, I don't know how this really works together. They don't have stuns, they don't have slows, they just kind of run at hero and hope for the best, or run at heroes and hope for the best.
Right.
Rubik has a nice lift, doesn't do the most damage in the world, but it's not bad. And I think it combos nicely. So yeah, I would totally agree with you. Rubik might not be bad here. Again, Disruptor I feel like is just still so good. AA picked up for Team Empire. It's not bad. It's not bad. It definitely does good damage early on. I'll give them that much.
Well, they're going to be able to build a lane around it. I would imagine we're looking at an off-lane Tide and a mid Brewmaster. So they can do what they want with their lane. And, you know, still waiting to see how Na'Vi is going to put together. They're actually going to grab the Chin. So going with Puppy's signature hero, in the Chen, looking to carve things up. I don't mind that at all, really, because you have a lineup that wants to team fight, and they're going to be very good at it. But you can kind of take advantage of that if you can draw these fights out. If you're able to wait out, especially the early levels of Brewmaster's ulti, if you're able to survive a Ravage and get your team's gloves back up, Tidehunter with Anchor Smash, I mean, Gush isn't a bad skill either, but Anchor Smash, yes, it is problematic. But for the most part, just being able to, again, draw these fights out, survive through the big ultis, you're going to increase your opportunity, especially with Doom. Being able to take away one of them potentially if he's very on point with his initiation, maybe looking for an early Blink Dagger, just being able to doom the Brewer their Tide. And no matter what Empire picks up here, that would be just so devastating if they are just unable to get the mileage they need out of those big level 6 ultis.
Yeah, and I agree. I think Doom is going to be playing a huge role this game against Tide and Brew specifically. Makes me wonder if maybe they want to run Doom as an off lane, just because I feel like Blink is a little bit more appropriate on an off-lane Doom than necessarily a safe lane. It's not to say that he can't do it if he is safe lane. I just think it's a little bit more appropriate because when you're safe lane, like you're pretty much the one, you're the core. There's the Rubik actually coming out for Team Empire of all teams. But yeah, when you're in the one position, the safe lane, you generally just want to farm. Come to fights when your Doom's off cooldown. But other than that, you're just not trying to get too active. But as an off lane, you can go things like Tranquil Midas and then just the Blink, just get in the fights. Right away, and that's very good against Brew. So, yeah, I'm very interested to see where Na'Vi decides that this Doom is going to be most appropriate.
Oh, Rubik plus Tidehunter means a lot of damage reduction. Like, whenever you're talking about fights early between Feybolt and Anchor Smash, it is going to be tough for any kind of a right-clicker to get much done. And that's going to bode well for Empire because right now, I mean, yes, you have Doom, and he's going to build some right-click, I'm sure. I was actually just going to say Tiny seems like he might make sense here. But I feel like with the Chen and the Tiny plus Io, they're really going to have to go way out of their way to actually play the more relocate-based kind of a game, just because of the nature of Chen and how he works as a hero. I mean, he's very much a guns-forward kind of a hero. He is not super mobile. I mean, he's going to roam the map, but getting a lot out of him early to try and keep Team Empire down and slow down their 5-man team fight and give Tiny time enough to get up a scepter or whatever else is going to be essential for them. And now, though, with Doom and Tiny looking to be their main sources of physical damage output, that's 2 melee heroes. And again, Feybolt plus Anchor Smash is going to create some problems. There's that Void Band, by the way, right at the end. And Na'Vi has the Puck Band away. So Empire finishing things off with Spectre.
I think it's a nice idea. Na'Vi has a pretty greedy draft right now, and their lanes aren't that good. That's usually what happens when you pick greedy draft. Your lanes aren't very effective, which means it's very hard to go aggressive if you really want to. So what does that mean for the other team? Pick greedy yourself, or just run at them. But that's a little, as we've seen with Cloud9, just running at teams sometimes doesn't work. It's very risky. If you fail, then it's pretty much a GG. So they're going the more safer route, which is just go, greedy yourself, which is Spectre. And Spectre, not to mention too, is like very, very strong in team fights, and just I love Spectre because you can actually maximize your farm on this greedy hero by just farming, and you can enter a team fight at any time from anywhere, and that's my favorite thing about Spectre. Bristleback is the last pick for Na'Vi. Love Bristleback, big fan of him.
I've asked a few pro players this. Why has he fallen off so much? It wasn't all that long ago that he was never like super top tier, maybe for a brief window of time. But he was very much a situational pick that you would occasionally see given a nod, especially by teams like Na'Vi, who ran it fairly frequently going back some time ago. Why do you think the hero lost popularity as quickly as he did?
Yeah, Conrad was asking me this question too. I think it's just that nothing really changed with him. In fact, he got buffed. Like his ult got buffed nicely. I just think that other heroes just got popular at the time. Like Centaur was getting really popular for a while. Other offlaners now, Tide has been buffed. He's been really popular as well. I don't think it's so much that. I think it's just one of those rare things where teams just kind of honestly forget about him. Like, I don't think it's like they're making a conscious decision to say, no, Bristleback sucks. I think they're just other heroes that were in their mind that were popular at the time. And I think he's a very formidable offlane, or even just a hero in general. Like, if you can put him as a one position and just get a ton of farm that way too, and just run into fights and do work. So, I'm a big fan of him. I'd like to see good things come out of him this game.
All right, so it's going to be Dindy rolling on the Tiny this time. And we saw how effective he and Kuro were on a IO +1 combo in game 1 will be Havost playing on the Doom. And I got to say, Havost, whenever I see him, you don't see him run the Doom super duper often. But when you do see him run it, he is one of my favorite players to watch handle it. He just seems to always do really well. Or if he does have a slow start, he bounces back. As anyone I've ever seen play the hero, he does tend to play a Blink Aura-based kind of a Doom. And I really do feel like that's the most effective way to play the hero as well. So we'll watch the lanes take shape. No surprise in what's coming out of Empires. They're running a defensive tri-lane with Van's Core Silent and Always Want to Fly up there on the Rubik, the Spectre, and the Ancient Apparition, respectively. In mid, they're going to have Resolution on the Tide. So we talked a bit over the last few days about how this is always a possibility, depending on how you want to prioritize the Tidehunter's development. So Resolution on the Tide to begin, and Mag going to be taking the Brewmaster down into the off lane.
Yeah, I don't know why they do this. Like, I feel like Brew is just so much better in mid, and Tide's so much better off lane. And it's not to say that Tide can't go mid, because he's actually quite good mid. It's just he's better in the off lane than the Brewmaster is. So that's very curious to me. I'm not sure why they do that. Yeah, maybe they just really want Tide to get a blink more so than the Brew, and feel that well, they're thinking maybe there's a dual lane mid, which there is, and Tide's probably a bit better than that. So I guess for that sake, it actually is a little bit more appropriate. So now that I look at that, I have to question myself and think that yeah, maybe it is a smarter decision. We'll have to wait and see.
Puppy finding himself a haste rune to begin things out. Havost going to cut straight across and go get himself a creep. He actually found a Wild Wing Ripper, so if Puppy wants to dedicate time to stacking a camp for him, he'll be able to come over and clear that out quite easily and quite early if he wants. Puppy continuing to just get a little last hits while he waits on Havost to come on over. So Funnick out in this off lane up against this tri-lane of Empire. How do you think he's going to do?
Sorry, I was watching mid a lot, but he'll be fine right now. It looks like they did pull the lane, yeah. So, no, they're not going to get the connect pull, though, unfortunately. So, they might still get it if they... No, it should be fine. Okay, so he's not getting that much in this off lane, but he did get level 2, which is not bad. Could be worse. He put up one sentry right up front in the lane, actually, trying to get that lane ward, which is placed all the way to the left. So, kind of unfortunate, too. You rarely see this, but sometimes when you do, you're very sure about where the ward is. So, kind of a unfortunate misstep there by Funnick. And mid lane, it looked like to me at the time that Tidehunter was actually doing quite well. When he uses the Anchor Smash, it does like negative 40 damage on Dendi. So he's only hitting for 30 when he does get hit by the Anchor Smash.
This Satyr Mindstealer making life very hard for Mag. And yeah. This is just one of those things that you can do with a Chin or an Enchantress pick. It slows down your jungle speed a little bit, but damn if it's not awesome to just screw up a pick like this. Mag, I mean, and one of the strengths of Brewmaster, every time we see him, we kind of talk about it a little bit. And by the way, double stacking here from Kuro, very effective. Look at these camps already on the Radiant side, looking very, very good. But yeah, it slows down your jungle speed, but you can just totally bone a Brew in particular because he's so reliant on using his clap and, of course, bottle crowing or whatever else, just to make sure he can safely farm. He can shove creeps if he needs to, if he needs a little time to breathe, what have you. But yeah, this is going to be a bit of a tough time for Mag. He's got some creeps under the tower now, though, so not going to be the end of the world.
Yeah, he's actually doing way better than Funnick is, and that's just simply because this is a solo bottom. Like he's not up against a tri-lane or anything like that, like Funnick. So, and in mid, Tidehunter is actually farming very well. He's 12-0 compared to Tiny, who's 8-3 actually. And I can't even really call it a dual lane mid because Kuroki hasn't really been there. He's just been stacking.
Yep.
He did miss the that medium camp last time. And it's actually quite... Oh, he doesn't have the Satyrs. Never mind. So, see if he can get this one. All eyes on you, Kuroki. Let's see here. He gets both of them. So, nice job.
Yep, very nice. Oh, it looked like Dendi. I thought maybe Kuro was going to come in and Dendi would throw an avalanche or something. Not going to be the case. But, yeah, last hitting with Anchor Smash. Pretty easy stuff. Well, usually. That time a little bit early. Now there's going to be the avalanche. And he tosses him back, trying to use the Spirit Orbs to bring him down. But so just not enough damage. Lord. Yeah, I was going to say this should make you happy. Finally, we see a Tide with a Stout Shield opting to skip that first point in Kraken Shell.
Yeah, I don't even think you should skip it early on. Well, I mean, this is fine. The point is, excuse me, he went into lane right off the get-go with the Stout Shield, uses the Anchor Smash, and then he's just out of harm's way immediately. As long as you're aggressive just for a split second right when you get into the lane, then you'll be fine for the rest of the time, as it shows. He's 16-0 against a quasi-dual lane in mid.
Funnick gonna be lifted. There's the cold feet, and yeah, he's dead. Puppy came over, but it just doesn't matter. got there a little late and trying to get some payback here on Always Want to Fly. He's going to be careful, though. He's eating a lot of damage, and he ends up feeding a double kill as Vanscore secures the kill there. Not sure what the thought process was, and Puppey usually so quick to disengage whenever it's just a lost cause. That time, overstepping his bounds a bit, and Empire off to a 2-0 lead.
He was just trying to like focus too much on his micro on his Centaur. It's an unfortunate misstep there by Puppey. Not the smartest of decisions. In the meantime, mid, Dendy, he's not really getting harassed, but feeling some pressure from Resolution. Here we go. Can they get the kill?
Tosses him all the way back up under the tower. There's a TP coming in. That's going to be Vanscore. Hits him with the Fade Bolt. Kuro can end up dead here because of just how tanky he is. He's alive and bottling through this. Resolution went a bit Vanscore. Tossed and used the kill, the instrument of death for his own teammate, and that's going to be a return double kill as Empire apparently liked the way a little over-aggressiveness looked and went for it themselves for the same result, feeding 2.
Not the smartest thing. I wonder, oh my god, these stacks are so huge.
Look at this.
Not huge, huge, so huge.
So huge.
For Dendy, or whoever they want. I'm assuming Dendy, but that's going to be so much gold for him. And Funnick, he's playing past the tower, trying to be a nuisance here for Silent. He's got a couple more CS, not a lot. It's only 6. You look at Panda down bottom, and he's got 21. Doom, top farmer in the game, I'm assuming here, safe lane.
31.
With 31, not to mention Devour. Not enough mana for Doom. There it is. But Puppey has not had the greatest start. He's only level 2.5.
Funnick is getting to that point where he can be a little bit more aggressive just because of how innately tanky a Bristleback is. He might get tracked down here. No, thought maybe we would see Silent pursuing that. He's going to come back and using that Quill Spray to do some damage. Silence
he might get this.
Quite low. Yeah, Silent is quite low, so he can't really afford to come in without risking himself. And yeah, he's going to get one. And he ends up dying under his own tower, which is a shame because he gives that solo to Spectre. But yeah, I guess trying to get something done with his time. He is level 6 now.
Yeah, I'm questioning whether it's worth it necessarily. Giving a kill to Spectre, getting a kill first for yourself off of support. I don't know. I don't think it's really that worth it. I think Silent will be happy getting that kill. So yeah, Silent, he's level 7 now, going for a 3-3 hybrid build. I think that's fine. I was talking about this a lot actually yesterday, that it's very popular for Spectre players to just get like lots of points in your passive in the Desolate. But I really feel like you actually need at least 2, if not 3 points in Spectral Dagger. The movement speed change is just not
Ravage
enough.
used in mid, and there's going to be the haunt in. As Silent comes in, they managed to bring down 1, though, and Na'Vi kiting this out fairly well. Dindy's right there. Actually got hung up a bit. As tossed in 1 second, he might go for it, and he will. Yes!
Wow.
From downtown, the old heave-ho secures the kill under the tier 1. Now we've got Empire coming back over. Puppey's at half health. Can Mag catch him? There's a net. Very quick reaction. Using his Dark Troll Summoner to buy him some time. So missed opportunity there. But, yeah, that was actually managed very well by Dindy and Kuro. Kuro did end up dropping, but being able to bring down the tide and then get the kill onto Silent, that slows him down a bit.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's going to slow down Silent actually a lot because he was top, he was very, very low. He TP'd back to base and then haunted in. His TP's on cooldown. Now look at him. This is what we call, yet again, the walk of shame.
Yep.
Because he can't TP up top. So this is actually a lot of time wasted for him where he could be farming. I'm still very, very excited to see these stacks taken out.
Resolution once again engaged in mid. He's going to always want to fly nearby, and Cold Feet's a creep because, you know, it's as you do. But 5-4 now. And Empire trailing against Na'Vi. Funnick is getting a little more bold up in this top lane, owing to just how Bristleback plays. Just pretty much like a drunken brawler.
Yeah, again, look at Dendy's farm. They're really wanting to try to pursue. Always want to fly. He did, I think he popped a drums charge, but oh, he really wants his kill. If he can catch him, he can probably get it.
TP in after the gush in mid. Avalanche toss preemptively. Mag's there, doesn't have blink, and they'll relocate out. So just to secure Dindy and make sure he stays alive, Io sacrifices himself. He may be able to tether up on this. Nope, no one around. Thought maybe we'd see something venture over, but nope, he just comes back and gives a couple of auto attacks. Didn't even try. Just said, nah, it's fine.
I think they actually could have coordinated a defense there. Like, Pavos had lots of mana. He could have sold his Stout Shield right there to TP in. Puppey could have made his way and walked towards there.
Telekinesis back. And brought down at top lane. Action all over the board as kill after kill being tallied on both sides. 11 kills in 9 minutes. Very active early laning phase so far. Not a tower down. We're going to see resolution. Avalanche tossed all the way down to 170 HP. Didn't have any help from anyone else, though, so didn't even try to pursue it out. At the end of the day, it's still a tight match, but a slight lead in gold and experience going the way of Na'Vi. Here's a TP into the tier 2. Mag, again, sitting on his ulti if he wants to use it. There's always one to fly. He's just short of level 6, doesn't have Eye Splash yet, but Havos is going to be able to withdraw without a problem. And he does finish the mech in the meantime.
Yeah, so Chan's not going to get it, which is fine because he's actually farming so bad that I think it's more than okay. Okay, now I'm wondering if Doom takes out these stacks because he actually has the Tornado.
Yep.
But I really feel like you give it to the Tiny, and he's going to have Ags in just a second.
Yeah,
He's already got drums and treads. He had it at like 7 minutes, putting some damage on this tower. But I really feel like they should kill this. Like, it's going to be a nice resurgence of gold. Not to mention you're going to get your items faster the quicker you decide to clear these out. It's only going to take you know, a couple combos from Dendy, and they'll be all dead. So,
well, truth is, if they can get Chen to level 6 and get Dindy his scepter, especially given he's already got treads drums, which is kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, I would say Dendy goes full greed, just takes all himself.
Yeah,
he'll get so many levels. He'll be like level 11 or something, or at least close to it.
I completely agree. At that point, they can just run at Empire, and they'll be able to use Chin's ulti plus the mech to just go, okay, ravage us. We're gonna doom the brew. You can ravage. Maybe, you know, the Ice Blast, I guess, is going to be a factor, though. I mean, that will negate the effect of both of those, the mech and Chin heal. Yeah. But, you know, if so long as they're not caught with 4 or 5 man Ice Blast, they should have a pretty big advantage. And they're going to fall back, and there you go. Dindymon taking these huge stacks, the first of 2. And, yeah.
That's not even the big one. The big one's right below him. And good levels for Kuroki, too.
He just made 1,000 gold, roughly.
Yeah, this is going to be close to that, too. Kuroki's probably going to hit level 8 off of this, Danny close to level 10.
There you go.
So much farm.
Yep, he had about 1,100 gold-ish. He's going to fall back just because that is all the big creeps left. He'll wait for Toss to come off cooldown. And no action anywhere else on the map, so we can afford to watch this happen. And there's a deny on a tower. Yep, he is going, by the time all's said and done, he basically just made 2,000 gold, give or take.
That was 2 levels
Half
for
an
Kuroki.
axe, basically, and 2 levels for Kuro.
2 levels for Kuro, 1.5 for Dendy. So, yeah, really, really good. Imagine if Dendy did that all by himself, though. He'd be like level 11 or at least close to. So he's close to his Ags. Rubik, he's now level 6 stealing spells. Not the greatest of spell here for him right now, the Quill Spray. Are there any other good spells? You can steal Hand of God if you're lucky. Doom is good.
Doom would be great.
Toss is awesome to steal, actually. He can like toss Tide if he wants to, if he doesn't have a blink yet. And he's not going for blink early on. So we'll have to wait and see if he can get tossed.
That's actually a great point. And I've seen it before, but it's one of those things you just never think about till you see it. But yeah, I mean, but it just, and Toss, in theory, should be fairly easy to steal because whenever you, I don't know, it usually goes Toss Avalanche. So you got to be kind of on top of it.
That is true, but Toss is such a low cooldown that usually the Tinies use it more liberally.
Yeah,
it's a very low cooldown. So, and he's got 2 spells, so you're going to get one of them, and they're both good.
Tide, like you said, opting to skip Blink for now, going for the mechanism for his own team. Havos has had his up for a while, and they want to take a run at him. Let's see if they can do it. Mag doesn't have Blink yet, doesn't even have Tier 2 boots yet. He's, in fact, prioritizing the Blink ahead of any Tier 2 boot upgrades, and he's very close. Another 200 gold, and he'll have it.
Yep, that was smart by Havos. That was the last hit creep syndrome that he did not fall for.
Yes.
He had 3 people waiting for him. It was one final creep. It's always the last one that gets you. And he knew better, and he walked away. He wanted it. You could tell he was wanting it so bad. But he didn't go for it, and then and he knew he made the right decision. So I like to see that kind of stuff.
Hey, 50 gold could change your life, man. 50 gold can turn into negative 250 very, very quickly.
Yep. And there's the Blink from Doom. That's what we talked about. He was safe lane, but still has it. I feel like it's a very, very important pickup this game.
Without a doubt. And Silent, by the way, opting for a Vanguard build. Speaking of Vanguards, there'll be 2 out as Bristle finishes his as well. How do you feel about Vanguard on a Spectre?
I'm not the biggest fan. There's so many talks and like NA Dota, people talking about it. I'm more of a fan of drums in general. I just think drums is a better item. I think that you get just almost as tanky as Vanguard in general with it. Not to mention it just makes you faster. You can pop the drum charges, and you get the little extra boost of intelligence too, which I think that Spectre still needs because he's not spamming, but you don't want to use your Spectral Dagger a couple times and not have it ready for a haunt. So
yep.
I'm more of a fan of drums. That's not to say that Vanguard's bad. It's still very useful.
Doom onto the high ground. It's Resolution who's been hit with it. The rest of Empire is out of position. Mag's going to come in and use his split. Ice Blast on the mark as well, so Avos caught out. Io in the meantime helping to clean up the Tidehunter with Dindy. And they do track down Avos. Let's see if Dindy wants to continue to fight. He's almost got his Scepter, by the way. And nope, there's the relocate. And bringing him right back. And that kind of disjointed things a bit. There's the Hand of God up now. Mag reassembles, and this is going to be another big win for Na'Vi. They take the tower quite easily. Toss brought down 4-0. And Spectre is honestly not in the best of shape either, sitting over there with about 200 HP. But yeah, Na'Vi just, again, extending that fight out a little bit, waiting it out. Ice Blast only got Havos, so when Puppey was ready with the Hand of God, it was on the mark. And not necessarily on the mark, but well-timed, making sure everyone stayed in fighting shape. Here's another Ice Blast coming out. And that'll hit Dindy that time. It's going to be a toss and Resolution. Actually, yep, Vanscore got it that time, like you said. However, Chen sending Dindy back, so he could afford to play a little bit more aggressively, and he'll make it back to base as well.
Yeah, it was nice play by Fun. Actually, during that whole time, he was able to get a solo kill on Rubik. He did die to the Spectre, but he got him down so low that Spectre couldn't actually go in.
Yep.
Like, he actually almost killed Spectre, too. So I think that was actually a nice little play there by Funnick that we couldn't really see because the main fight was happening mid, but just wanted to comment on that. Ag Scepter is now up for Tiny at a very nice time. 15 minutes, helping, or due to some of those stacks and whatnot. Now they can start stacking those Ancients and they'll be even just more effective. So he is a force to be reckoned with, that is for sure.
Oh, yeah.
And a Vlad's before boot. He doesn't even have boots on the Wisp.
Who needs it?
And he has Vlad's.
Who needs it? It's fine.
The only problem is without boots is like Dendy's so fast, especially with drums, that sometimes you just can't keep up with the tether.
Oh,
like,
come on.
That's
see any legs on this thing? What's he going to do with him? He can't even put him on his head.
Look
like
how fast
Naga.
Dendy is. He's just going to outrun the tether. Like he has to stop then. Oh, see.
Empire smoking up. Moving 2 now through the dire side jungle. By the way, I want to point out that battle in mid was not just a one battle for Na'Vi to the tune of 4-2, but it was a 2-tower exchange.
Right.
They took 2 towers off of that. That's what a Tiny does. And, Tiny's another one of those heroes that I feel like just doesn't get enough love, man. I mean, he's so much better with an Io on his team, but he's still freaking amazing. Fnatic has showed us that before. Funnick going to be hit with a gush from the low ground. Doesn't matter. Should be able to get into his own tier 1 and gives him the old snot rocket as a buy your leave. But yeah, I mean, we see Fnatic do that once in a while when Era's healthy. We see him, they'll run like a Lion Tiny duo mid, and it's still nasty as can be.
Ooh, I really like Lion. It's one of my favorite supports. But Tidehunter for Resolution, he hasn't had the best series, honestly. It's not his fault, though. Just kind of maybe the first game was, but a little bit of his fault. But this game, like
hashtag subtle flame.
No, I'm not even flaming. I'm just saying, okay, he was a little bit far out. And shit happens, right? But he's almost got mech, but this is really bad timing. Like, he has no initiation. Panda has initiation, but he's just got no farm on this Tide. And I know he was up against the quasi-dual aim, but here, action onto Bristle.
Relocate coming back. And they bring down the tower. Funnick's going to end up dead, but here comes Big Daddy, Dindy Boss, going to work. And bringing 1 down, make it 2. That's a double kill. Mag is there. Has split if he needs it. And we'll go ahead and use the toss. Mag's going to have to split to save himself. He's going to have to split to save himself, is what I said. There we go. Havos.
They might be able to kill all these pandas, though.
Yeah, that's the thing. He's got the AoE cleave. Havos is going to be tossed in the air by the Storm aspect. Dindy not going to pursue it out. Here comes the Chen creep up. And that's another tower. And this is preposterous how quickly they have taken a map that was full of towers for Empire and brought them down. They won 1 engagement in mid that turned into 2 towers. They had the bottom tier 1 down. Dindy was down here, brought this tower down, relocated across the map, came in, got a double kill, and just took another tower. And just like that, in the last 5 minutes, they've gone from having just about a full map full of towers to just 1, the top tier 2.
They're going to Ancients right now. Imagine if this was stacked. If this was Fnatic, that would be like 5 stack. But this is really important, but he's still so farmed. And Dendy, no games for him this game. Like, he just wants BKB, I think, because he just bought the hammer, whatever it's called.
Mithril hammer.
Yeah, it's all business here as he's looking for Vanscore on the Rubik. I always want to fly. He's in the vicinity as well. Dendy playing a little bit far up.
He's going to be hit with a gush. Resolution chasing him down. He's got Ravage on the ready. He is going to go ahead and use it, and they catch Puppey and Dindy both. Dindy's going to be sent back to base, so Puppey sacrificing himself for the greater good that time, and Empire capitalizing on a little bit of spread out positioning from Na'Vi.
Yeah, Folk, wow, I didn't realize he was that far ahead to his BKB.
LOL.
I thought he only had one piece of it, but he's got the whole damn thing. Okay.
Well, he's got 12K net worth. Like, he is 50% ahead of the Spectre at this point. And the Spectre had more or less a free farm lane.
He did, with some kills under his belt, too.
Yeah.
So, Spectre, if he wants to go for the Radiance, he has enough for the Sacred Relic. Yep, he buys it right now, but this means no buyback. So he's got to be careful. Lots of aggression coming out from Na'Vi, 5 members up there. Chen maybe wants to TP bottom to save this tower. As they actually have all their towers out right now, too. I didn't even see that, but yeah, lots of aggression. No, he TP's top. They want to fight, and they want to fight
They
now.
have not been playing on their side of the map. Like, basically, it's if Dindy's been farming on his side of the map for about, I don't know, a minute or two out of every 5, and then they just run on the other side of the map and say, come fight. That's an Ice Blast that does catch a bunch, but it's not going to matter. They may try to high ground here, and this is risky, but with a 10-second BKB, where's the damage going to come from for Empire? Like, they just don't have it. And we haven't even talked about how important the armor reduction is. Avalanche was stolen by Vanscore there. But the armor reduction they're going to get from Bristleback and his Snot Rockets is pretty intense. Dindy down to about 3/4 health. They may want to rethink this a bit. They still have the mech, and they still have Hand of God if they just want to slow siege this. And they don't even need to slow siege it. They have, I was going to say they have a glyph and not opting to use it. Mag's going to come in. No, he's going to be tossed, and Avalanche. Can they bring him down in time? BKB up. No, the split goes off. Funnick and Havos got caught in the middle of that. There's the Hand of God and the mech. And they're trying to last this out. Dindy has to pull back, though, as Empire punishing them quite a bit. And wow, Rubik got Hand of God. That's a nice steal for him. And he's eating a bit of damage, but they're going to get Puppey behind this, so maybe a little overzealous from Na'Vi trying to high ground there. Hand of God used by Rubik. Dindy's still going work, though, and they're not done. Mag now in trouble. Looked like they had chased them all out, and they were just all going to retreat, and Kuro used as the instrument of death for Dindy's godlike streak double kill. And Vanscore once again stealing Avalanche. The Tier 3 remains standing, but as all is said and done, it's a 3-for-3 exchange. Problem is, Empire lost Spectre again, and Dindy made it home safely. And hell, didn't he just make it home safely? Made it home and is coming back. Ready to go up, and the Tier 3 will be brought down. There's an Ice Blast that will hit him again, but he's just going to keep going for it. And hit with the Cold Feet, he's going to double back just to make sure it doesn't proc in full. But he has his BKB ready to go in another 10 seconds. Kuro sitting right in his pocket. Here come the TPs in. And yeah, he's actually going to throw that Avalanche to try to buy some time. Spectre has finished a Radiance in the meantime. Resolution's right there. And BKB is going to be used. He's just going to turn and try to fight this out, and for good reason. He's doing good damage, and so long as Kuro stays by, he gets the Vlad's interaction.
Doom.
Yep, Doom on the Resolution, who didn't use his Ravage when he had the chance. Silent. Again with that Radiance, is burning him down, but Avos has a mech up and ready to go. There down goes Brew as Funnick and Puppey hook back up. Silent being chased out. Back behind towards the Tier 4s. Vanscore's next to die. This is going to be Rax down at 22 minutes. 2 buybacks on Tide and Rubik both. Tide has a Ravage if he wants to use it. What did Vanscore get? He got Avalanche. There's going to be the Ravage. Cleans up Io, and finally they bring down Dindy on that Tiny, but not before the work was done. Just look at this. It looks like a battlefield. Looks like somebody set off a bomb here. As the racks are down, there's been a lot of blood spilled. Na'Vi ends up feeding 4 again by the time they get the job done, but I don't think they care. At this stage of the game, up against a Spectre who still needs a lot of time to farm, Dindy did enough on his own, and bringing down the racks means they accomplished everything they need. Mag now chasing down Puppey. And wow, I don't think that was necessary, but they'll catch him nonetheless. And there's the rock to follow it up. Puppey wasn't going anywhere. And
it's actually very cool. He has Hand of God up in 5 seconds. If he can kite this out, this would be a huge play. 3, 2,
oh my God, the
1.
creeps are swarming him. The creeps got in the way, and here's Avos. There's Hand of God. Avos is there. They're going to haunt in and try to secure the kill onto the Chen. Avos did everything he could. Ice Blast is sent out as a bit of a preventative measure, and Avos will not engage through that. But Puppey, oh my God. Basically, yeah, got him confused going around the trees in the fog, and then the creeps swarmed all of the pandas and got him hung up. Still not enough, though. 19-18, and maybe we can take a breather for a minute.
Nope, relocate bottom just happens. Resolution just falls yet again, and he already
And
fought
there's going to
back.
be a Doom on the Vanscore up at top near the river. And Mags there, can't do much. Tried to come in for the deny. Havos is now on his tail, has 5 seconds till mech, 1 till blink. Scepter up on Shin now. Havos blinking into a bad situation. Funnick's going to come over to try to help him out. He mech through it, but they're going to get Havos for sure. Ice Blast will be there. Funnick caught with it. They may be able to get him to shatter if they can get the damage done. He is using the Quill Spray. And nope, they're not want to pursue. Now, wow, they actually catch Always Want to Fly out by themselves as Dindy and Kuro have rotated back over. They see Silent, and Dindy wants to track him down right on his tail. Doesn't have any drum charges left. But Puppy's there to help him in along with Funnick, and Funnick tossed over the Ward Plateau. Getting the kill, 4 down for Havos. And Na'Vi may be ready to push again. Let's see, they're going to collapse towards mid. They don't have creeps, but to be honest, they don't need them. They've got Dindy, and no backdoor protection as the top racks are down. And going to work. That'll be another set of racks. Glyph is still a minute or 2 off.
Oh, God. Assault Caress now, 24 minutes.
Oh, my God.
Hitting like a truck.
This
He's all
is
business
absurd.
here. All business, hitting buildings, hitting heroes. Has a BKB up and ready to go if he wants to. He might have to because Ice Blast is coming out. He actually gets tossed back into Kuroki. Mag, he can't find the connection with that with that Thunderclap. Relocate out to try to get him into base. It's not an Acceptor up onto the AA just yet. So
I wouldn't stand here, guys. That's not a good place to be.
He has BKB ready to go.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
Oh no! Why did he pop it so early? He was so scared of like a Ravage right into that.
I think that's what it was. Behind that, there's going to be a Primal Split on top of Puppy. Hand of God. No, actually, Mech is used. Hand of God still on cooldown. 25 seconds in. They will be able to. Tiny's just continues to rack up kills. Now flanking in from the south. Always Want to Fly dies in just a shot or two. Avos is right there with him. Kuro in some trouble trying to overcharge through it. There's a Doom on the Silent. So the kill is secured, but it's not going to matter as they're going to clean him up. Mag's next on the list. Another double kill for both Avos and Dindy. And in a series now that collectively went 52 minutes across both games, Na'Vi, I think I'm going to steal your phrase, all business is the impression one is forced to come away with after this 2-0 performance in our lower bracket semifinals. They stay alive, and they send the number 2 seed overall packing out of the tournament as they now look ahead to Fnatic for a chance to squeak into the grand finals. And Fnatic, last time they met, Fnatic got the best of them, but oh, wow. This is the Na'Vi I think everyone expects to see, especially during this time of year. Big tournaments coming up, TI on the horizon.
Yeah.
This is the Na'Vi we're all accustomed to seeing. And we haven't felt like we've seen in a while, but they looked as good as you could ask in both of these games, and not against lower competition. You're talking against a very, very good Empire squad.
I think this is the Dendy that we're all used to seeing.
Yes.
Honestly, like he played so well this entire game. I think he's just tired of he's tired, like, all right, no more bullshit, guys. Let's just play for realsies.
Right.
And he just went ham. Like everything he did was just like, I'm not playing around. Except for a little minor misstep after the racks up top, but that was just like, I mean, we already got so much, it doesn't matter. But everything, just like, I'm not hitting creeps, I'm hitting buildings, I'm going BKB right after my Ags, no bullshit, we're going to win this game, and I will carry all of you.
Right.
And did a kind of similar thing last game with Skywrath, just taking no prisoners, just running at them, doing everything, just playing correctly. And very fantastic performance from Denny today, I have to say.
I mean, just to put it in perspective, what kind of game he had. You had a Spectre that had 10 kills in 26 minutes, and that was not the story of the game at all.
Yeah.
Like, that was I used this phrase the other day for Fly. That is probably the most quiet 10 kills I've ever seen a Spectre get before 30 minutes. Because it just didn't feel like it mattered, like, at all.
Yeah, absolutely. And also, again, the second game in a row where we've just seen a lot of stacking from Kuroki played a significant role in this game, especially. You saw just the levels that they got in 30 seconds between the two heroes that were sharing that experience. So that needs to be mentioned as well.
Well, just about the same amount of time it took Na'Vi in both games, but in a very, very convincing fashion, they down Empire 2-0, and again punched their ticket in our second series of the day, where they will meet Fnatic for a chance to play in the grand finals coming up tomorrow. We're going to have quite a bit of downtime, about an hour and 20 minutes, give or take, so hope you'll rejoin us coming up. After that, I'm your host here in AC Chambers, and next to me, Tralf, of course, we're live. Thumbs up. Live here on the ground at the HyperX HQ in Fountain Valley, California. We're in this awesome esports and LAN environment they've built right into their office to cater to and work with esports personalities, players, and the such. And our privilege to be here and bringing you all of the action from the D2L Western Challenge playoffs. And yeah, Na'Vi knocked down to the lower bracket fairly early, and just doing what Na'Vi does, hanging around, performing when it counts, and now one series away from fighting their way back into the grand finals. And for those who are wondering, by the way, there is no game advantage or anything whenever we consolidate the upper and the lower bracket. It will simply be pick a side/pick advantage. Throughout the entire playoff system, since we had the group stage before, whoever came in at the highest seed in any match based on group stage performances in game one had the choice to go first pick or side, and of course we follow that format. And that's the only difference that upper and lower bracket makes. So looking ahead to the best of 5, that's all you got to worry about in terms of advantage. But I'm really looking forward to the next series. I think it has the potential to be one of the best we've seen. We saw EG and Fnatic square off yesterday.
That was really good.
Oh, that was so good. And I think our next series with if Navi's playing this way today and Dindy's on this kind of is on fire like this, I can't wait to see him match up against Fnatic and again look for some revenge.
Not to mention just what's the word I'm looking for? But they're basically so motivated coming from this. The momentum. That's the word.
There you go.
The momentum coming in, I think, plays a huge role too, especially with a team like Na'Vi.
Yeah.
So based off of how they played just now, I expect them to win. Actually, I really do.
It's tough.
We'll have to see. Their drafting was nice. Tiny Wisp is always very strong, and they had a somewhat greedy lineup, but they totally made it work.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, I mean, and we saw some weaknesses in Fnatic's play yesterday. EG exposed them. I mean, in terms of you can deal with them. When they're on, and of course it's tough. But if you're just willing to be creative with your drafting, and especially in the face of Excalibur's Meepo, which has become one of the most feared picks in the Western scene ever since he started filling in for Era, basically EG gave you a blueprint, if you were watching, on how to deal with that. And granted, you still have to execute, and it does help to have Zai, who's going completely bonkers on Bane, but that's neither here nor there. You need to go watch that game, by the way, if you missed it yesterday. But anyway, again, our lower bracket grand finals, or I shouldn't say grand finals, finals are set. It'll be Na'Vi in a revenge match against Fnatic. It'll be a best of 3 to finish up today. Winner of that meets Evil Geniuses in our grand finals coming up tomorrow. In the meantime, like I said, it's going to be about an hour, 20 minutes, give or take 80 minutes or so of downtime. Make sure you go find a stream, someone else to support on Twitch. That's always awesome. Make sure you're back with us at noon Pacific Standard Time, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and 9 p.m. for our European brothers and sisters. And take a minute or two, if you're in the market for a new headset, to make sure you check out the HyperX Cloud, on sale in a very big way. I love this headset. You've had a chance to use it. He loves it. It's one of the most comfortable headsets you'll ever wear. Has a lot of options built into it as well, by the way. It does have a fairly nice amount of sound canceling. Not fully soundproof, but certainly more than most consumer-grade headsets. But if you also don't like the inside kind of squishy plastic, this kind of inner ear, that's okay, because the set actually comes with velour as well. So if you happen to want maybe a little less soundproofing, say you're a mom or a dad and you got to be able to hear the kids in the next room, you don't want to completely tune the world out for whatever reason, that's an option for you as well. You can get it in I'm actually not sure if they've made all of the different colors available yet, so I don't want to quote you on that. But great sound quality, and tested and proven with professional esports players all around the world, including Alliance, who uses this headset as well. And again, you can find the link for that, again, on sale, 50% off. A very nice headset. You can find that right below our stream. It should be right below the stream window you're looking at right now. So take a minute to do that. Then jump over, watch BTS if they're on, or Toby if he's on. Go hang out with them for a bit, but make sure you're back here in just about 80 minutes. Again, I'm AC. That's Trouf. You can follow us both on Twitter. I'm at AC, at AYESEE. He's at TroufDota, TRALFDOTA. We'll be back in, again, about 80 minutes for the conclusion of the HyperX D2L Western Challenge playoffs for the day. Our grand finals will be set by the time all is said and done. We'll see you then.